The surprise team in USL Championship is Loudoun United. Having won only 11 games last season, they are on pace to set a new season record for wins. This USL Championship contest comes from Leesburg, Virginia, where Lexington SC is searching for an upset against Loudoun United. Hello everyone, with former Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey, I'm David Gascon. Preseason forecasters pegged Loudoun United to finish 11th in the Eastern Conference, but at 6-2, they are writing a new story in franchise history.
Absolutely brilliant start. Have a look at this. They're above Lewis City, above Charleston Battery. That's a great start. Any question, can they keep it going?
6-2 so far this season. Biggest reason for that, the goal differential. They're +6 right now, and they're also third in goals in the USL Championship.
They've got a bunch of different goal scorers. Abakura is the best, joined second in the Golden Boot with 6, but Riley Bidwas chipped in with 2. Wesley Leggett's got a couple as well, but this man here, Abakura, he's been the star of the show.
Midfielder Abdulatif Abakura leads the team in goals with 6 of them so far this season. What makes him so dynamic as a striker?
He's just very comfortable with the ball at his feet, can go left and right. He's an absolute natural. He's not bad with his head either. Smacked the crossbar against Vegas in their last match and was unfortunately couldn't score. But with the ball at his feet, he's really dangerous.
So far this season, Lexington comes into this contest with a mere 7 points, bottom of the pack in the Western Conference. But it does feel like it's too early to panic for them.
Yeah, a win would take them on 10 points in a playoff spot, but the problem is if they lose, they stay rooted to the bottom, and that could start to affect confidence.
With only 1 win of the season, they've scored 8 goals on the year. What can they do to improve their efficiency offensively?
It's got to be more clinical. They get in good positions. In fact, they lead the USL in penalty box entries, but when the ball comes in, they're either hitting the goalkeeper or they're missing the target completely. You've got to take your chances when they come. Look at this, missing from what, 6 yards out?
Forward Cameron Lancaster scored 20 goals in 2021 for Lewis City. He makes the move to Lexington and he's looking to regain that form.
13 goals in 27 for Lexington, but this is back up at a higher level now. He might not have the pace he used to have, but if you get the ball to him in dangerous areas, he can still find the back of the net.
Second ever encounter between these two sides. We'll see if Loudoun can remain perfect at home on the year. Coming up on their side, we'll get to the starting 11 and first touch. It's Lexington SC, Loudoun United, coming up next.
Meet Bob.
Did you sign up for your boating class?
Nah, I gotta learn how to swim first.
Meet Abasola.
New shoes?
They are a lifestyle.
They fell in love and now have a blended family.
You are a bad influence.
You're welcome.
Life isn't always easy when cultures collide.
Hey, Auntie.
But they can always count that Abasola loves Bob.
Everything's gonna be great.
And Bob hearts Abasola.
Weekdays at 7 on DCW 50.
This is business today. Fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. Segra, freedom to grow.
What kind of future do you want? You have something worth fighting for.
Failure is not an option. Anyone? Just a second, Bradley. Anyone?
On this field, winners are born.
Hold on to your butts.
I know who did it.
I know why.
My thing's bigger.
Shut up.
Settle up, partner.
Here goes nothing.
Get your game on.
Thanks for coming after me.
We look forward to our very bright future.
We're back here live at Segra Field with Gary Bailey. I'm David Gascon. Loudoun United and Lexington SC playing their second match in 2 weeks. Ready to get this thing underway. Starting lineup for Loudoun United and head coach Ryan Martin, a 5-3-2 formation. Hugo Farou in between the sticks. He's been a rock for them this year.
He certainly has. He's got 3 changes in front of him, though. Cole Turner starts, and then up front, Riley Bidwa and Wesley Leggett. Wuha is on the bench, along with Zach Ryan. No Yanis Lehman, unfortunately.
On the other side of things for Lexington SC, head coach Terry Boss, a 5-2-3 formation. What stands out to you with 4 changes today?
Well, Jacob Green comes in, and then right back position, Michael Adidukun. He gets a start. Elliot Goldthorpe, who's a tricky player up front. Look forward to seeing him. And of course, you mentioned Cam Lancaster already on the bench. Gail Gibert, Nick Firmino. No Corey Burke, he's out. And Forster Yago sent off last match. He is suspended and not available.
Marcus Epps leads the team with 2 goals so far on the year. He's tied with Corey Burke. Temperatures today, a comfortable 73 degrees, a couple scattered clouds, slight breeze at 6 miles per hour, but all in all, a beautiful day for ball.
It certainly is. Not too hot, so you don't have to sweat it out. And if you're a goalkeeper, not too cold, so you don't freeze either. Perfect. Let's hope we get a perfect game. Lots of goals for everyone to enjoy.
Servando Berna is our lead official today. These 2 teams played back on April the 26th. Loudoun United won it. 1-0 was the final outcome in that contest. Does that benefit either side today?
I don't think so. I don't think previous matches make much of a difference, and that match in particular was extremely close. It took a late goal to give that victory to Loudoun. So, different story here, perhaps, today.
Loudoun United comes into this contest with a 6-2 record. Lexington SC, the 1 win on the year. 1-3-4 to be exact. Logan Ketterer has started every match so far this season. With that record, he also has a goals against average at 1.25, and the save percentage is at .679. Lexington SC moving from right to left on your screen. Loudoun United moving from left to right. The uniform combinations for each of these sides, a bit tricky, but Loudoun United has the red tops and the red bottoms. Lexington SC with the white bottoms. Larry, Gary, there weren't major changes during the offseason for Loudoun United. And when you think about where they were last year, they had 11 victories a season ago, but it's a club that, according to head coach Ryan Martin, is confident. They feel comfortable with each other, and they're developing week in and week out.
They are looking much better than they did maybe a year ago towards the end. They lost their impetus. In fact, they said they had a big post-mortem from not reaching the playoffs when they looked like they should have done. That was their first season with, should we say, a non-development side. Before that, they were just developing players for DC United. For Coach Ryan Martin, in picture there, that was his first time that he had a choice of players, and they came close. Now I think he really has the team that he wants. It's certainly looking that way when you look at them being top of the table. And they're playing some good football. Even the loss against Vegas in the last match, they deserve to at least come away with a draw.
A 1-0 decision that went to Las Vegas. The two losses this year for Loudoun United against them, they were blanked in both contests, against Lou City and also against Las Vegas. On the approach here, though, no chance so far for either side just yet. Loudoun United 13 goals so far in the year. They scored 44 all of last year, but they were one of the stingiest defensively. They only conceded 39 goals in 2024.
Yeah, Hugo Faru, one of the reasons for that, good goalkeeper at the back, and they've added the experience of Pedro Santos, 37 years of age, and a wonderful career in MLS for DC United and Columbus Crew. So they've added the pieces that maybe just were missing in terms of the likes of Pedro Santos. And I just wonder if this is their year, not just to make the playoffs. Could this be their year, full stop? Could they go all the way? They've been beaten twice by Lou City, once in League and once in Cup, so maybe they're not quite there yet. If they keep on improving, who knows?
For Lexington, they just want to stop the bleeding. They were unbeaten their first 4 matches to open up the campaign. They haven't scored in their last 4, 1 goal in their last 6 matches, so something has to give for them.
But they've been playing well, and just chatting to Terry Boss, the coach, he says, you know what, we've left a lot on the table. Their matches, even, for example, against Loudoun, where they could have won that game.
Dokun on the near side. Far side official with the flag up. First offside of the day.
And just staying with that theme about Lexington, even last match against Lou City, they were level until they had the red card. And once they had that, then things went sort of rapidly downhill for them. But these are things that you can put right. That was Forster Ajago given the red card in the 49th minute. And there was an own goal in that match as well. So Terry Boss pointing to a lot of situations where on a different day it's a different result. And he believes, and so do his players, according to him, that they are very close to turning this around and getting themselves on a good run.
Things can drastically change with one victory, equaling 3 points. That would put Lexington, depending on tonight's outcomes, above the playoff line. Keep in mind, we've just begun the month of May. But you want to make sure you keep yourself close to that pack, otherwise, come June and July, it'd be too big of a hole to dig yourself out of.
That's a very fair point. But again, you look at the Loudoun game, which was in a cup match, 96th minute winner. So they were level up until that moment.
Harsh challenge here in the 5th minute. Ben Mines picking himself off the deck. Mines formerly spent time with Miami FC. Newly acquired. Playing his first match with Loudoun United at the beginning of March. Opening up the campaign against Birmingham and beating Birmingham 3-1. First set piece of the day, Santos low line drive delivery.
Wasn't the best delivery, was it? And just chatting to Ryan Martin, he said, one thing I want from this team, I want better quality service from set pieces. He said that is something that we can deliver on, and we have to. That first one didn't quite meet the standard set by the coach, and maybe the future ones will.
Cole Turner with his first touch of the day. Turner making his first start of the year and only his second match. Sargent backpedaling, and from League City, Texas. 9 matches, 9 starts. Loudoun United not busy during the offseason with whole player changes. 21-year-old Moses Nyman was the significant pickup prior to the year beginning, but that's been it. Ketterer comes out.
I guess it's exactly the opposite for Lexington. It's a new side, so every single player is new, and that's another point Terry Boss mentioned. He said, yeah, we had a very good start, but I think it was a win and a draw in the opening 2 matches. But these players are getting to know each other, getting to figure things out, where their strengths, where their weaknesses as a unit, how do they combine. He says the more they get to understand each other, he said, the better we will become.
How long does it take for a team to get familiar with each other and that they're on the same page?
I think it's game by game you improve, but probably 10 games into a season is a rough guess. That you sort of should know by then how to play, what your best structure is. But again, also depends on injuries. They've had a lot of injuries. They're changing personnel, 4 here today. So if you keep changing, it's also very difficult to get into a routine.
My other thought process is just the configuration, right? The substitutions, the formations, how you're starting that 11 to open up a contest. That thing might change week in and week out, depending on who's available and how they're playing.
But according to Terry Boss and a number of coaches we've spoken to, he said the process is more important than the result. He said, because if you keep doing things the right way, you will eventually get the right results. He said, so I'm just making sure they play the football the way we want to, with the structure we want to. He said, I've absolutely no stress at all that the results will come in time.
Get high praise for his team when we spoke to him earlier this week. Good in training. They're staying within themselves, not worrying about the wins or lack thereof and the losses for the time being. There's a great point that Terry Boss had brought up to us. He echoed those sentiments of drilling into the process, not the end result necessarily. On the approach, Goldthorpe. Trying to make a move, and he does. Goldthorpe with the left foot, tries to go top shelf to no avail. Great angle for Goldthorpe, just a hair off the mark. Match is still scoreless.
This is what Elliot Goldthorpe can do. He's already got a goal and assist both in league and also in the cup. Able to cut in, just couldn't bring it down. He was trying to get that sort of dip at the end, that top spin. He wasn't far off. You're talking maybe a yard, and that would have been right in the top corner.
Peru is dead to rights. Flat-footed on the bullet from Goldthorpe. Best scoring opportunity of the day so far from either side. Loudoun United with 6 wins on the year. Last year they had 11. 2023 they had all of 7. This is a franchise desperate for success. In fact, Gary, when we were talking about their offensive output this year, that's piggybacking off of what they did last year. They were +5 in goal differential last year. That's the first time that ever happened in franchise history.
Because before that, they were always a feeder club and playing 17, 18-year-olds, and Ryan Martin did a really good job. In fact, a number of coaches said to us, give Ryan Martin a full team and he will get you results.
Goldthorpe again trying his luck to no avail. Nedokun tries to pull the trigger. That attempt was denied, blocked on the way through.
Will beings from another world come to Earth?
How long's a galactic year?
250 million years. Or could aliens live among us already? The Big Bang Theory.
Weeknights at 6 on DCW 50.
Live here from Segra Field with Gary Bailey. I'm David Gascon. 11th minute. Glad you could be here with us. Absolutely gorgeous Saturday. Goldthorpe looking on. First corner of the contest to the back post, nobody around. And fortunate enough for Peru, that was the case.
Wow, what a good ball into the box from Elliot Goldthorpe. And there is the chance just to get it in the back of the net, just missed by Lexington from what, 3 yards out. And that's a little warning for Loudoun United. As we said, there's not much between these two teams. They know that. They met only 2 weeks ago, and it was 0-0 until the 96th minute. That was a really, really good whip ball coming in from the Englishman, Elliot Goldthorpe.
Goldthorpe spent time in MLS with Vancouver Whitecaps. 23 appearances during his time in Vancouver, 10 goals. So Lexington SC has had the better of the scoring opportunities to open up this affair. Get a quick peek at Florian Velo, the 32-year-old, the elder statesman of the group. Brought a lot of stability to the organization last year, according to his head coach and Ryan Martin. And he has carried it over here in 2025. Adedokun with some good speed. Nice hesitation move. Adedokun out wide, looking for an angle, making one guy miss, plays it through. That pass was picked up. Adedokun with some great spirit. Cheval gave it up. Jacob Green. Lexington trying to keep the heat on. To the back post, Adedokun off one defender coming out. Peru gobbles it up.
Jafal just turns and whips this one into the box. A nice bend on it. Adedokun again, he's caused some problems in the first few minutes. What about his run? A minute ago. Wow.
Showcasing the speed, but also the agility. goodness.
Absolutely brilliant there. And Nigerian, 23-year-old Nigerian. He played in the match against Loudoun when they lost 1-0, so he's already had a chance to size up the opposition.
He's drafted in the MLS Super Draft. Edokun making his 5th appearance of the year. Goldthorpe, full head of steam. Over on the left-hand side, the approach from Epps, trying to make a move. Plenty of contact inside the 18, but no whistle, and we play on.
He didn't appeal either, did he, Marcus Epps? He went down, realized there was no real contact, and just got up again. He was just hoping that maybe some legs got tangled with his, but nothing really happened there, and the referee wasn't interested at all.
Some decent theatrics from Lexington so far. Plenty of questions on when Loudoun will flex their offensive skill. Not seen that yet.
Pedro Santos just being closed down there by Green. A little bit of a stumble, nothing much in that.
Green making his 6th appearance of the year across all competitions. Lexington SC forward Marcus Epps. Corey Burke looking for goals. That headed away nicely at the last second. Kenner comes up to challenge, and he beats Leggett there. Leggett didn't get all of it, but ever so close.
Riley Bidwell just knocking it back here. Ball gets knocked in by Abakura, and it's a good one. Defender unable to get it completely clear there, Kieran Sargent. See him getting his head down there, just not able to clear it, and so close for Wesley Leggett to pounce on that.
Time for an IBEW Local 26 corner kick. Abakura will take it. IBEW Local 26, empower your future. Abakura, 9th start of the year. 6 goals and 1 helper in 628 minutes plus. Abakura gently on the deck. Lexington trying to counter. Took a minute to get out of some traffic, and here's Speedy Williams. Williams, formerly of Colorado Springs. Over the left-hand side. This will be trouble. Epps looking for a lead. He scores! Marcus Epps, his team leading 3rd goal of the season in the 17th minute on a broken play, and Lexington SC on the road leads 1-0.
Look at Elliot Goldthorpe, he's been causing so many problems. Defender's got to clear that there. Cole Turner doesn't do his job. I thought for a second Marcus Epps had lost it because it comes on his left foot. Have a look here, I'm thinking hit it. He does, and he brings it back. And he still manages to sneak it in. So there's the defender, Cole Turner missing the ball. Comes in on his right, gets lucky, beats 2 defenders and the goalkeeper to slot that in the far corner.
Doesn't always have to be beautiful to be effective. And for Epps, he scores. That goal presented by Hanley Energy Management for a digital age.
Goal scored in the 17th minute by number 11, Marcus Epps.
Well, is this the day that things turn around for Terry Boss and the Lexington squad? They haven't had a win in 8 games, and they're sitting bottom of the table. But as we said, a win will take them into a playoff spot.
Trying to counter is Loudoun United to no avail. It's the first goal that Lexington has scored in USL Championship since back in April. April the 5th to be exact. It was a 2-1 loss at El Paso. But the drought is officially over. And now it's about building on it and trying to walk away with 3 points.
As you mentioned earlier, Terry Boss was saying to us, we're almost there. We know we are. It's just been 1 or 2 bits of bad luck or bad decisions. He said we've left so many points on the table. It will turn. And I think maybe this is the game it turns. A long way to go yet, of course. You've got to bear in mind, Lexington, they're playing the team that currently sit top of the entire USL.
Lexington SC trying to snap an 8-game winless drought. Being the best team in the Eastern Conference would go a long way to building confidence. Mines outside, plays it through, volleyed around, and it goes wide.
Just as we say, don't discount Loudoun, because they've been finding a way to win games since the kickoff of the season. This ball played back, effort on goal then is just well blocked by the Lexington defense.
Another corner kick, an IBEW local 26 corner kick. Santos will take it. IBEW local 26. Empower your future. Developing towards the back post. Ketter with 2 hands to volley it away. Leggett pounces on it. Slow feed, and it was intercepted. It was a bad ball. Contact near midfield. Another turnover. Loudoun United trying to maintain possession. Goldthorpe has it now, though. And the Prinks Tires Tailgate Kit Sweepstakes for a chance to win a prize pack worth up to $3,000. Scan the QR code on the screen and enter today.
A little bit of an injury for referee Servando Berner to keep an eye on. Speedy Williams just ties up his boots there. El Capitano. But certainly he's got the start that Speedy Williams would have wanted. Nice for Marcus Epps to find himself adding to the 2 goals he's scored already, so that's 3. Everything seems to be fine, so hopefully play continues.
Moses Nyman picking himself up. Speedy Williams trying to get himself on the board this year, has yet to register a point. In fact, he's been held without a goal the last 4 years. Last time he scored a goal, he was with Miami FC. He did that all the way back in 2021. Loudoun United 13 goals in the year. They've now surrendered 8. For Lexington SC, the 9 goals 4. Puts him close to being deadlocked in the goal differential.
Moses Nyman barreling into Speedy Williams here. Speedy's about to play, just gets shoved with body, elbow, shoulder, and anything else that Moses Nyman could bring to the party.
It's not been a physical contest by any stretch of the imagination. Probably the most so far on the day. Mines here. Abukura looking for it, has it. Slight hesitation towards the back post, going back that way, and it goes wide.
What a good run there from Abukura. Lays it off and then wants it back. And look at the comfort on the ball there. He goes to play it, dummies, gets it in. Riley Bedwa, just his body had turned on him. He wasn't square on, so he had to sort of twist a little bit. Can't get it on target, the New Zealander. What a fantastic opportunity for Loudoun.
Best scoring opportunity of the day for Loudoun. Down a goal. Marcus Epps, his team leading 3rd goal this season. And that's the difference maker so far. Ryan Martin, been with the organization since 2019.
I can barely hear you.
Has seen this club rise from the depths of despair. This team back in 2021 had 4 victories. They were 4-25-3.
It's been a dream for him to make the playoffs and maybe even go for a deep run in the playoffs. This must be the first year in which, I think last year he felt his team were going to get there. He said so and was bitterly disappointed they tailed off at the end. But this time now, sitting top of the table, and that's not just of the East, that's of the entire USL. He's got to start to believe that they can make it to those playoffs. But a big test for them comes now. He spoke about resilience from last year when he chatted to us. He said, because of not making the playoffs, this team, it hurts. They became more resilient. Well, you've got to be resilient within matches, and not resilient that you give away yellow cards, just saying, Ben Mines, but resilient that you can come back in a match 1-0 down and still win it.
Pretty good challenge there from Ben Mines. First yellow card of the day for either side. It occurs in the 25th minute. Mines is the guilty party.
He's missed the ball, got the player. That's going to get you into trouble every single time.
Mines trying to deliver an argument. Faroux will call off the dogs and Tingy will back off. Shots so far in this contest are even at 3 apiece. Each team with a shot on goal. Out wide, Santos delivering it, top of the box. Oh, the sweet strike finds some twine! Florian Velo going top shelf in the 26th minute, and we are level at 1-1.
Wow, what a strike from Florian Velo. Absolutely brilliant. He's normally an assist man, 4 assists this season, but he can score. He just tucks it in the top corner, waits for the ball to come across here. He's aware of the goal, head down. He's already made up his mind. He knows where he wants to put it, and does he put it perfectly in that spot, right in that top corner there. Gives goalkeeper Logan Ketterer no chance whatsoever. You could ask, why has he got space on the edge of the box? Maybe the marking should be tighter, but what a finish from Velo.
Velo's goal, presented by Hamley Energy Management for a digital age. And Velo's first goal of 2025 gets his team deadlocked with Lexington. So a brand new affair.
It was only a minute ago we were talking about Loudoun needing or having resilience and needing to show it, and they have bounced back already. So back to Ryan Martin's point, this is a much stronger team psychologically than they were last season.
And oftentimes, Gary, folks are guilty of assuming that a team like Loudoun United, the top team in the Eastern Conference, against Lexington, the bottom in the West, would dominate them for a full 90 minutes. And maybe Loudoun hasn't played their best contest of the day so far, but they got that one opportunity and Velo made the most of it.
Quality finish. But I don't think the gap between these two is top versus bottom in reality. It's just a quirk of the start of the season. Will Loudoun finish top in the East? I hope for their sake they do, but it's a tough ask. Blue City are favourites along with Charleston. And will Lexington finish bottom of the West? Again, I doubt it. I think they're just far too good for that. So by the end of the season, they'll probably be a lot closer in the table than they are at the moment.
Ketter feeling some heat, has to get rid of this. So Velo's goal in the 26th minute is the equalizer. Santos with the assist. And for Santos, making an early contribution the opening half, after Epps had given his side an advantage at 1-0 in the 17th minute. This match has had good pace so far, Gary. Has anything caught you off guard?
Not really. I think they're two very good sides. Like I said, Lexington might be bottom. They win this, they're in the playoffs. So they both look to me teams that will make the playoffs. They look well organized. I just think that Loudoun have a little bit of extra quality here and there in the likes of Epicura, Bidouin, Leggett. They're really, all of them, good finishers. But having said that, Lexington have created a few chances themselves. So, yeah, enjoying it and hoping that we get lots more goalmouth activity.
The odds makers in Las Vegas expected there to be at least 3 goals in this contest. Loudoun United was a sizable favorite against Lexington.
I'm not so sure that that is the case, because when they met 2 weeks ago, it was a very even game. There wasn't much between them. The expected goals was 1.17 to Lexington, 0.97 to Loudoun. There wasn't much in it, slightly in favor of Lexington, even though they lost. The deciding goal came in the 96th minute, so yeah, I think it's pretty even. Yes, Loudoun are at home, perhaps that does factor into it a bit here today, but again, probably not a lot between these two teams.
Loudoun United 3-0 at home so far this season, 3-2 on the road. Lexington looking for their first win on the road in 2025. Decent contact, but Leggett not going to get the call there. Leggett, 8 games, a couple of goals. Been with the club now for 2 years. Minute. Tingy holding possession for Loudoun. Now volleyed around. Loudoun holding it. McCabe. Mines who's playing on a yellow. He goes down. Loudoun took him down. Mines looking for something back, but outside of a common foul, there won't be any booking. Epps over to Green. It's a concerted effort in the first 15 to 20 minutes for Lexington to attack the left-hand side of Loudoun United. Since that goal from Epps, they haven't gone back to the well.
Yeah, it was a good start by Elliot Goldthorpe down that right-hand side. He's gone quiet for the last 10 minutes. Jacob Green, former Loudoun United player. Had a good spell there, 72 appearances. He was bombing down that right-hand side for the first 15, 20 minutes.
Abukora. Moving it around, Leggett. We're so patient, Loudoun United on the chip to the right-hand side. And that'll just run away. USL on CBS Sports Network continues on May 28th with a Western Conference doubleheader. San Antonio FC takes on FC Tulsa at 8 p.m. Eastern, followed by Las Vegas Lights FC and Phoenix Rising FC at 10:30 p.m. Catch all the action on the CBS Sports Network on May 28th. Make sure you stay with us at the end of the opening half. Gary and myself will have first half highlights, stats, news and notes, and we get to take a peek around USL Championship. Might have a big save or two mixed in there, since paying homage to Gary.
Yeah, love for the goalkeepers, please. We don't get enough of it.
It's a must. It's a must.
You never see us in the hugs after goals are scored. We're too far away from the action. Just stand on our own and clap.
Oh, man.
I'm sure there's a book that could be written on the psychological desperation of being a goalkeeper.
Hey, that could be an off-season project for you, Gary. 34th minute. Leggett holding it. Nyman. McCabe could not weave around Saman coming. Possession goes right back to Lexington. San Antonio leads the Western Conference. 5-2-1 record. Monterey Bay, New Mexico round out the top 3. Lexington in real time with a point has put themselves in 9th position.
Problem is the others still have to play, don't they, around them.
That's right.
Picking up 1 point, that's why the system is the way it is, 3 for a win. It's sort of forcing you to go for wins, because a draw is useful, but it's not ideal. You want the full 3 points. That's what bounces you up the table.
I thought to Rhode Island's credit last year, they hung around long enough to make that push in the postseason. In large part was because they were able to pick up draws to start the year before they started sustaining victories 1 week after another.
I think it's a good example, Rhode Island, in a very similar situation as an expansion side. Also very well stacked with good players, as Lexington is. It took them a while to get the hang of it, and when they did, wow, did they play really well. Now they're in their 2nd season, they're struggling again, because now you've got to keep it going. And that's the next thing about being a top USL side. It's every single year you start from scratch and have to keep picking it up. You can't rely on anything you did last year. Ask the champions, Colorado Springs. They've had another tough start to a new year.
Well, Colorado Springs lost to Miami FC last year to open up 2024. And then all of a sudden, things just changed. So it's interesting how the start of a year is not an indictment on how the season will unfold.
But that's where it's different from the rest of the world. Is you know, if you're playing a league-only season, then every point counts. But the US system means you can get off to a reasonable start, an average start, as long as you pick up momentum later on in the year when you get to playoffs.
And you mentioned the systems, Gary. Are you a fan of relegation?
Oh, absolutely.
Love it.
Absolutely. Can't wait for the USL to get this relegation promotion thing going. And then I think you'll see teams in the MLS. Yes, it might be risky, the cost of the franchise, that you go down, but the value in television, payments and income, etc., as Terry Boss is just passing some information around there, will offset that eventually. And just proud of the USL that they're going to go ahead and do this in a couple of years' time. I think you'll see so much. Besides the playoffs, you'll now have relegation promotion as well. A lot of fun games to watch at the end of the season. And then every point does count. Yeah. Because you do not want to get in that relegation battle.
Yeah, I think the other element is the fan engagement. I think that's just something that's different compared to Europe and those respective leagues. You come to the US and you don't have relegation. So fans not used to that, obviously, with clubs in the United States, clubs in Canada. Now things change drastically. I'm excited about it.
And now you get the dream that Swansea have over in the UK, working their way up division by division. Of course, you can work your way down division by division. That's happened to Leeds. So, but that's the sort of drama of it that interests fans, and why fans stay with a team over in the UK and Germany and throughout Europe is you follow your team down the divisions if you have to, which means when they go back up, the passion, the excitement, the love is there. It's extreme. It's why they do celebrate the way they do when they get victory, because even Liverpool being champions, it's been a long time. I think they won it 3-4 years ago, and before that was a hell of a long time before they won it. So these things don't come around that often, and when they do, the Europeans and the South Americans, they love to celebrate it as much as they can.
Pedro Santos limping around a little bit. Gary, to put a button on your point, I also think it's important because it shows fans the ability for organizations and front offices to invest in the team, whether it's coaching staff, or talent, the new talent, guys that are available in the open market. Go out there and spend, be aggressive, make things happen. Don't rest on your laurels.
100%. Because if you do, you're not guaranteed that you'll be in that same division. Up until recently, you could finish bottom and then probably get the first pick of players from the draft system. And now you finish bottom, you could be out the league. It's a very, very different story. And that's what makes it more exciting, I believe. But that's only my personal perspective, and time will tell whether promotion relegation works here in the US.
Loudoun nearly slipped and fell. Possession staying with Lexington. They're moving from right to left. They led 1-0. Marcus Epps, his team leading third goal of the season in the 17th minute, but Florian Below found the equalizer. Below gets his first goal of the year. Santos with the helper. Deadlock in this contest. In the 26th, Loudoun showing another good piece of movement outside. Green recovers it. Abukura looking for some reinforcements. Goldthorpe force him out, but Abukura, good job getting away from some trouble.
Again, just looking at Loudoun there, he does so well. He's got great pace, gets down the left, but the ball in. You've got Cam Lancaster waiting in the box, and the ball goes way over his head. So, almost you might say the hard work's done, beating your man, but then you still have to deliver a quality ball into the box.
Below. There's Leggett. Leggett had an open space. Abukura, though, on the receiving end. He'll be patient. So Loudoun United. 41st minute. Score is tied at 1-1. Shots right now favoring Loudoun United by a narrow margin, 4-3. Loudoun with 2 shots on target to the 1 for Lexington. Possession favoring the home side, 55-45. Mines gets trampled over. Loudoun and Mines have been mixing it up this entire first half.
Beat Bob. Beat Abishola. Life isn't always easy when cultures collide.
Hey, Auntie.
But they can always count that Abishola loves Bob, and Bob hearts Abishola.
Weekdays at 7 on DCW 50.
Loudoun picked up a yellow card just seconds ago. It's the first one for Lexington SC.
It was clumsy. Once the player's beaten you, you've got to avoid falling all over them. And sometimes they slow down and they create that contact, but you've got to get out of the way. He didn't, and it wasn't the first time. He got a warning last time, so eventually referee had enough.
Free kick here from Santos.
Back to Ryan Martin's comment. He wants quality in these free kick service.
And from Portugal, oh, that one just escapes. Ketterer got a piece of it ever so close. Was Florian Below and company, it's still 1-1.
Now, when you do get quality from the service, a quality delivery, this is what you get a chance of doing. Below, just perfect angle. It was only a wonderful save from Ketterer that keeps it out the back of the net. What a great header, what a great save.
Corner delivered just from outside. That drive stays out from McCabe. Played back into the box again. Ketterer comes out to challenge. Ball was loose for a minute. The rebound strike, that one just goes wide by a couple of feet.
Oh, some good pressure from the home side here, and goalkeeper doing well. Gets a punch, doesn't get much height on the punch, and that leaves it lying at the edge of the box. And that one there just whistles past the post. Difficult for a keeper when you've got that many bodies in front of you, but you've got to try and get some height if you can, so that you can clear 20, 30 yards outside the box. Logan Ketterer, let's go back one step before that. That save to his right-hand side, absolutely brilliant from the 31-year-old.
Full extension from Ketterer comes into this contest. With 3 clean sheets on the year, despite only 1 victory. Dokun picked up a yellow in the 42nd minute. That yellow card presented by Continental Cards. Continental Cards, elevate your collection. Each keeper's been tested. Both have been beat. The score stays as is. This should shape up to be a compelling second half.
Yeah, certainly Loudoun have brought the best out of Logan Ketra. Farouk didn't have much chance with the goal, and then since then hasn't really been tested. They've got width down the left and right hand side, Lexington, especially with Adi Dokun on that left hand side, then Goldthorpe on the right. But have they got shots on target? Have they got any service to Cam Lancaster? Don't think they have, not much anyway.
Long throw in here. Farouk walks on the goal line. It grabs some woodwork and it stays away. Tiggy punches it away. It'll be a corner kick for Lexington SC.
Wow, what a long throw and what a fantastic header there. And just off the post, he's at full stretch, Farouk. He doesn't get to the ball. The post is what saves Loudoun.
Got 2 minutes of stoppage time. Brought to you by Novec. Novec's energy-saving tips are a real game changer. Goldthorpe here, low line drive, corner kick. That corner kick brought to you by IBEW Local 26. Empower your future.
Well, just saying, they haven't created many chances other than the goal, Lexington, and with that, bang, they hit the post. Fantastic header, good ball in, good service. Suddenly come to life here. It's been very even. They've both had chances to have got a second goal. They've both taken the 1 goal that they did, taken it well. Not much to choose between these 2 teams in the first half anyway.
Sargent not too happy with the ruling. Bad play there. Goldthorpe on the attack. Pick in the pocket momentarily of Nyman. Loudoun searching for one final push before the end of this opening half. Below outside. Abukura looking for a lane. Pulls the trigger. Good stop. Kenner got out. 2 paws on it. No rebound.
Abukura here just cuts inside. Tess Ketra once again, the big goalkeeper. Good safe hands.
That'll do it for the opening half of play. Marcus Epps got the road team on the board first. Flooring below with the counter in the 26th minute. 1-1 is the score. Gary, your thoughts?
Very even, very good, positive football from both sides. Some magic moments such as Velo's goal and Marcus Epps' goal. Some good saves from Logan Ketra. It's all in the balance. I think it's set up for a fantastic second half.
Shots in the opening half favoring Loudoun United 8-4. They had 4 shots on target. Each team also hit some woodwork. Epps on the board, Velo as well. End of 45 minutes of play. Here from Leesburg, Virginia, we are tied at 1-1.
Will beings from another world come to Earth?
Turn left at Alpha Centauri. You can't miss it.
Watch for signs of hyperintelligence.
How long is a galactic year?
250 million years.
A love for rocketry.
I remember them going up higher.
And the capability to destroy humanity. Or could aliens live among us already? You decide on the Big Bang Theory.
Weeknights at 6 on DCW 50.
This is business today. Fast, unpredictable, always changing. Shifting trends and technologies are pushing aside old rules. The unexpected is the new normal. At Segra, we'll help you navigate a complex future with state-of-the-art voice, internet, and data protection solutions. We know you have dreams, and we see your potential. Segra, freedom to grow.
DC News Now is on Roku. Early morning, ready, set, Roku. Afternoon, Roke us. Evening, overnight, whenever you want, Roke it on Roku. Need your weather? We've got that. Want to see what the community's up to? We've got that too. Looking for ways to stretch your dollar? Roke your savings. Newscasts, features, weather, sports, living local DMV, and custom content just for you on Roku. Search DC News Now today and let's Roku and roll.
You have the power to save. Take charge of your energy bill with these tips from Novec. Adjust your ceiling fans to rotate counterclockwise for warmer weather. Novec also recommends installing a programmable thermostat to avoid cooling your home when you're away. Set your water heater to 120 degrees. Novec is helping members save energy, which means saving money. Harness your savings power. Find more tips and tools at novec.com/save.
Back here live at Segra Field, the Van Meter Halftime Report with Gary Bailey. I'm David Gascon, hanging out with you on a lovely Saturday night. The team is playing pretty good ball right now in Loudoun United, 6-2 on the year, and now dead even with Lexington at 1 apiece. Gary, USL Team of the Week. Wilmer Cabrera is the Coach of the Week, but you see the personnel on the pitch.
Well, his son Andy Cabrera got a hat-trick last time out, so not surprising. He's there, and Gabby Torres as well from an El Paso side that's really hit the ground running. Liam McKinnon has been really good up front for Orange County, banged in a couple of goals recently, and everyone who's on that team deserves it. Rosa Reyna against Loudoun was absolutely fantastic as well, the Las Vegas goalkeeper. So well done for all of them. They've all done extremely well.
Now I got to look at the Player of the Month in Darren Smith.
Yeah, top of the goal scorers charts, the man from Detroit, South African. He's got 7 goals. He's in pole position.
Ryan heads it back into the mixing bowl. Amomensa, and it's put in! A goal for Detroit City. It's that guy, Darren Smith, again. Goal number 5. The accomplished career. That ball sent up. Here's Smith again, the chip! Give him 2! Darren Smith.
USL Championship Coach of the Month, Ryan Martin, for his start here in April.
Has to be. You take a Loudoun side, you put them top of the table above Lou City and Charleston Patchy. You deserve all the plaudits. I just hope for his sake he's also Coach of the Month a couple of other months, especially around October, November, because that's when it all really counts.
Ryan Martin company, a good 45 minutes of play. A couple of unfortunate moments against them, but regardless, this is a good one. 45 minutes up, 45 to go. Highlights and stats and all that, and then some right around the corner. 1-1 is the tally.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Stay 2 nights, get a $50 Best Western gift card.
How does Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water keep you in the game? We always source our water directly from the natural spring to fuel every body, no matter how you like to move it. So whether you're chasing your goals or just staying active this summer, make sure to stay hydrated with Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Always bottled at the natural spring source.
DC News Now, bigger and only getting better.
Join us as we welcome Susan Tran to the DC News Now team.
Decades of journalism experience, a steadfast commitment to community, and an energy we can't wait for.
Susan Tran joins DC News Now, super serving the DMV with Susan Tran at the anchor desk.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us on DC News Now.
Florian Velo scored his first goal of the season with Loudoun United. That was the equalizer in the 26th minute. We're at the break right now. Loudoun United and Lexington SC, 1 apiece. Second match of 2 here in 2025. Gary, we got some time now for some news and notes. We lead things off with the U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, the only non-MLS team to get into the round of 16, so congratulations to them. A couple of others went to extra time against MLS opposition, but couldn't quite get through.
First impressions for the third kits as well. Always about the kits. New Mexico and Lou City revealing their new third kits this week with the local communities. And let's talk about it. HD. Pro officials are wearing blue wristbands to honor former referee Terry Vaughn for Huntington's disease awareness as well. So news and notes around USL Championship, and now we get to take a peek. Scoreboard watching for now.
Rhode Island holding Monterey Bay, who've had a really good start to the season. But again, Rhode Island in their second season, just struggling to get off to a good start. And Hartford Athletic just kicking off now against high-flying Detroit City.
The rest of the contest tonight as well. A couple Galazzo matches, 7:30 Eastern and 10 o'clock Eastern. Indy 11 and Sac Republic. That'll be a good one.
Yeah, another good one. Tampa Bay hosting Charleston Battery. And Lou City up against Pittsburgh. Yeah, they're all good. New Mexico United against Phoenix Rising is sort of a local derby. So that will be fun at 9 o'clock tonight.
All that on ESPN Plus and also CBS Galazzo. Fans soaking it up for the time being. They're getting ready for a second half that will be coming in any moment. 1-1 is the score. Lexington looking for their first road victory this season. See if they can pull that off here on the other side. We'll be back.
DC News Now, the only station focusing on the entire DMV. Reporters in 5 locations throughout the region. A look at weather with a regional approach, so you always know what's ahead. And an unmatched commitment to local news. More community, more breaking news, and more weather coverage for everyone in the DMV. Join Chris Flanagan, Susan Tran, and Janessa Webb. Watch DC News Now tonight at 10 on DCW 50.
Come see what's trending on Karamo. He has deleted 1,938 texts in the last 30 days.
Unlock that phone for me. What's in there that you cannot show me?
See what's taking over everybody's feed.
You did try to gaslight her. You did try to mislead her. You did try to manipulate her.
I don't even worry about that at all. This is a lot of chaos from the beginning. A lot. All season on Karamo.
Weekdays at 3 on DCW 50.
At Luray Caverns, there's only one thing more timeless than the formations.
Grandma, check this out.
The memories. What will you discover? From down below to way up high, there's fun in every layer of Luray Caverns. What will you discover?
This week on USL All Access, a look back at the week that was and an action-packed week ahead.
Rodrigo Lopez from Sacramento Republic joins us to talk his return to form, hopefully Republic's return to Open Cup glory. Mark Briggs, former Republic manager, now in the Eastern Conference with the Birmingham Legion.
No one knows it better than Roro and Mark Briggs. They're back together again, only on USL All Access.
Back here at the break. Fans getting some refreshments right now. Gary, I can use a little ice cream right now or whatever it may come right now. Loudoun and Lexington bottled up at 1 apiece. It was a good first half of ball, Gary. The road team, though, looking for the first win of the season, got themselves going quickly.
It did good work on this right-hand side by Elliott. Time and time again, Elliott Goldthorpe got in there. Now that's a missed ball by the defender, well taken by Marcus Epps. Thought maybe he'd lost the opportunity to hit it straight away. Goldthorpe here knocks it through. Cole Turner misses with the clearance. Marcus Epps comes back on his right foot and just squeezes it in. A little gap between goalkeeper and post.
So for Epps, his third goal of the season got Lexington on the board 1-0. It wasn't a comfortable start for Lexington because the home team, like they've done all year, they create offense.
They do, especially Florian Below when he gets a chance. Head up, knew where he wanted to put it straight away, just bent his foot around it. To beat Logan Ketter is not easy, and he's done it by sticking it right in the top corner. What a strike.
The pace was one thing because it wasn't overpowering, but just the precision, the accuracy of where he put it. His first goal of the season in the 26th minute, Santos with the assist. And for Loudoun United, they got things deadlocked at 1 apiece. However, for as good as Loudoun was to close out the opening half, Lexington almost gave him another scare.
They did. It was a header, and a very good header by Jacob Green against his old side there. Wow, what an effort, and just a post saving Loudoun on that occasion.
Shots in the opening half were 8-4 in favor of Loudoun United.
Presented by Emmy Flow, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Yeah, one change
one company.
In the second half to open things up. Kwame Awuha coming into the affair. So one change for Loudoun United, nothing for Lexington SC. Gary, if you're Lexington, despite the fact that you're tied 1-1 and you scored the opening goal, how would you feel?
I think you'd feel good, but you've got to get results. And this is the way it's been. It's been 8 games without a win. And in each of them, they've left something on the table. They could have got better results. They could have got more points. They've got to get going. Today is the day. They've got to get 3 points and climb up that table into a playoff position.
Along with being winless in their last 8, they did at least snap a goal drought. It's their first goal since April the 5th against El Paso in a 2-1 loss. Second half begins. Lexington moving from left to right on your screen. They have the red tops and the white bottoms. Loudoun United moving from right to left, red tops and red bottoms. Leggett. Couple goals on the season, and he's trying to get another one. Substitutions all day will be brought to you by Segra. Turner out, Awuha in.
This is the Loudoun United corner, so everybody...
Gary, if you were Loudoun United and Ryan Martin, would you make any major changes in the second half?
It depends on players. I mean, you will make changes to bring on fresh legs, but you've got to defend set pieces first and foremost.
Line drive, followed around, a quick Karam. That shot was blocked on the way through. Tingy was robbed from near the 6. Only reason this game is still tied at 1-1. Tingy again, harsh push down. Our lead official points the spot.
Well, there was contact. Is it enough for a penalty? We'll have to see it again. Referee Savando Berner is absolutely sure there's enough contact. Have a look here. Hands on the back. Oh, I don't think there was much. I really think Keegan felt that, Keegan Tingey. He felt it and just decided, you know what, let me hit the deck, see what happens. Kendall Burke's not happy at all. But there was hands on the back, but as a referee, you've got to be sure that it's what pushes the player to the ground. The only benefit we have is we can see it again and again. Referee just gets one look, must make an instant decision, and decided there was enough of a push for it to be a pen.
For Loudoun United, looking to capture their first lead of the day. Does this surprise you at all with Tingey taking this penalty?
Again, it depends if he's good in training with it. I can only assume that he's better than anybody else, because basically that is how you get chosen to be the penalty taker.
Abukura is the only player that's taken a penalty this year, and he converted it. Tingey looking for his second goal on the year for Loudoun United. Against Ketter. In the 48th minute, here's Tingey. On the approach, he shoots, he scores!
Well, he won the penalty. Have a look at it there. Now look, there's a hand on his back. I don't see a push. He goes to ground though. So he wins the penalty, steps up, sticks it to the goalkeeper's right-hand side. Maybe down the middle slightly, but certainly had Logan Ketterer going the wrong way, and that's all that counts in a penalty situation. So well done to that man, Keegan Tingey. He's got his team ahead.
Tingey's second goal of the season, presented by Hanley Energy management for a digital age. Tough pill to swallow for Burks and the entire organization for Lexington to see that kind of a level of physicality result in a penalty. Tingey, though, felt the contact, played to it, and was rewarded.
I think when there's no VAR as a referee, you've got to be pretty sure that it's a penalty before you give it. You can't guess. With VAR these days, you can not so much guess, but you can have an opinion and then be told you're wrong and go and change it. Here you can't. So he felt there was a push, and again, that's the referee's decision. When you get the ball in the box, then you get those sort of breaks.
Green on the cross. Peru put the jump on it. Diego quickly working in transition. Gives it right back to his counterpart in Ketterer.
I think every coach will say to you, you deserve something, whether it's legit or not. You deserve something when you put pressure on the opposition, you put crosses into their box, you shoot. Sometimes you get a deflected goal, sometimes you get a handball, sometimes you get a penalty. That comes from putting pressure on the opposition. That's why coaches like to see the ball in the opposition box.
Another turnover here. Loudoun United trying to break this game open. Bidwap couldn't do anything with it. Bidwap was near the 6. He peels back below, looking for him. Oh, that was ever so dangerous from Florian below.
He was looking for a runner in the box. No runner appeared, so in the end, Logan Ketterer just left the ball. But certainly suggesting maybe to Riley Bidwar that he makes a run into that box. Bidwar just putting his hands up and says, yeah, okay, I was a bit slow to read that one.
Green somehow kept his foot.
Lucky not to get a yellow card there, Pedro Santos. You come in and clean out a player without getting the ball. It's risky.
Lexington winless in their last 8. Now they need at least 2 to cure that spell. They've scored 2 goals in their last 7 matches.
Well, they must now show the same resilience that Ryan Martin was talking about from his Loudoun side, coming back from 1-0 down, 2-1 up, and continuing to attack.
Abukura surveying the land and feeling it a little bit. Who just checked into the contest. It's the first time this year he's coming off the bench.
Down, Elliot, down, let's go! Try to build it! Try to go down! Yes! Yes!
Loudoun United wins today. It would be their 7th victory of the season.
Don't think any other club has even won 6 yet, have they?
Oh, that's amazing.
It is phenomenal. And it's not like they're being lucky. See again here today, 1-0 down, they've fought back 2-1. They're confident. Look at the number of red shirts and shorts of high pressing Lexington here. It's a really exciting team, but they know they're not the best yet. Lou City have beaten them twice, once in the cup, once in league play. So there's still a ways to go, but I'm sure they're aware of that.
Below gets chopped down. And Gary, to put this in perspective, I know we get to look at numbers as Below is in some agony. Loudoun United right now is on pace to equal the win total over the last 3 years.
Wow.
It's remarkable for Ryan Martin.
Well, good on Ryan Martin. He's been working at it. He's had a tough time having to develop young players, and now he gets to build his own team, gets tested, and a chance to show just how good a coach he is. But like I say, still early in the season. When we get to playoffs and he's won a home playoff, then I think we can give him even more praise.
McCabe, pressure pushing it all the way back. Peru. Tight quarters here. Peru flings it over to Tingy. Tingy scoring on the penalty here in the second half. Second goal of the year for Tingy. Green. Some pretty good real estate for some reinforcements out wide to Williams. Adedokun, who had a marvelous opening half, didn't show up on the box score though. But plenty of creativity. Tries to glide this through for Williams in a sharp angle. Near the end line. Epps, Adedokun to the back post, and nobody in sight for Lexington SC. While we have a minute, watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN. The nation's leading Spanish language sports network. North Carolina FC faces off against Oakland Roots SC on May 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings.
Just wonder how long before Terry Boss starts to make some changes. Been a little bit disappointed with Cam Lancaster. He hasn't had much service, but he hasn't been able to impact the game at all. And I'm only going to think back 3-4 years as to how wonderful he was in that Lou City team, and he would make things happen. Just been very, very silent so far in this match, and maybe it's worth chucking Nick Firmino on, Hugo Mbong. Just trying something different there for Terry Boss.
Green. Jafal. Adedokun. Out wide, he goes down. Our lead official doesn't point to the spot, and a little bit of frustration for Lexington SC. And Adedokun is going to pick up a yellow. Oh my.
Wow, this is a sudden turn of events. Let's have a close look. He gets past his player. There's an arm on the shoulder. There's no question for me that it's enough arm on the shoulder for that to be a penalty. He gets a yellow card for diving.
And it's his second one of the day, and he is gone.
Wow, and you see, we have the benefit of slow motion replay, and I think if referee Servando Berner could see this, he wouldn't have given the first, and he would have actually given the second. Because there's an arm on the shoulder. You can see it very clear. Have a look here. Ben Mines there. There's the arm on the shoulder, and it stays, and it stays, and it stays, and it slows him down, and he goes to ground. Now, does he throw himself to ground? No different to the first penalty. There's pressure on the shoulder, player goes to ground. You either don't give the first and don't give the second, or you give both, but to give one and not the other. But again, he sees it once and once only. And in that moment, someone can run across his vision, and it's hard for the referee to make a call. But certainly having seen it a second time, I think Adedokun has been hard done by there. And that could really impact the game. And that's the second game in a row. Lexington have had a red card.
Ajago a week ago against Lou City, and now Adedokun here today. You go from 1-0 up to 2-1 down, and now you're playing without one of your probably biggest impact players on the pitch today in Adedokun. So Lexington SC playing 11v10, and they are in a world of hurt now.
This is a big test now for Terry Boss's players, because they will feel hard done by, but you've got to put that aside. You know you're a player down, and now your job is to at least get a point from this game, if not go and win it. Now, how do you do that? Obviously, you let your emotions calm down because you're upset, and you focus on not making errors, on keeping the ball.
Abukura, watch out, a possible 3-on-2. Abukura lines one up, good stuff by Kidder, but he can't collect it all. His team leading 7th goal of the season, overpowering Ketterer in the 59th minute. Loudoun United trying to run away.
Isn't it amazing? Logan Kedderer's made so many good saves. Abukura does well here, runs, like we said earlier, he can run at players and he can keep his balance. Goalkeeper's got a straightforward save. He's made some brilliant saves, but that one is definitely on the keeper. Sort of bobbles a bit on this turf pitch. Maybe it's a bit different to a grass pitch. The goalkeeper's got to do better. At worst, he's got to push it away for a corner. He's let it slip through his hands and over the line. That's a disaster. Amazing. In the space of a couple of minutes, they haven't got a penalty. They've had a red card, a player sent off, an error from their goalkeeper, and now the match is really slipping away from Lexington.
Nightmare turn of events for Lexington. And for Abukura, back on the board again. That goal scored by Abukura. His team leading 7th of the season, presented by Hanley Energy. Energy management for a digital age.
Well, who'd want to be a coach like Terry Boss is at the moment when the games turn so quickly? From half-time at 1-1, you're thinking, well, we're in this game, we've got a chance, maybe we get a goal, we get ahead, and now you're 3-1 down, then a player down.
Ua towards the back post, headed away. Top of the box in Lancaster. First time I think I've even called his number today. Williams. And Epps here. Epps trying to get some separation, drawing some contact. No call, goes ping-ponging around to Farouk.
Marcus Epps not happy. He felt he should have had a foul as well. But this is where you can get upset. You can feel that decisions are going against you. And you just need to keep calm. Wait for your opportunity to get in the box. And if they pull one back here, obviously Lexington are back in it. One goal gives you hope, gives you belief, gives you energy, and that's what's going to be their focus now for Terry Boss's team. Keep it tight, create opportunities, and get one back.
62nd minute. Loudoun United has converted on 3 straight goals after Lexington had opened up the offense with the Epps goal, 1-0. Loudoun will take it any way they can get it. But Velo's goal was probably the purest of the 3. Abukura, a one-hopper on a Kidder that overpowered him and skipped past him. And then Tiggy on the penalty after a questionable ruling by our lead official, and Trevon Oberna.
And maybe a year ago, they wouldn't have bounced back as well, Loudoun. But that exact resilience Ryan Martin has talked about has got them back in the game. Yes, they've had a couple of decisions go their way, but it's about getting from 1-0 down to 3-1 up one way or another, and they've done it.
Gary, we go back to the infractions here. Adidokun, the first yellow, they were jostling for position. I could understand that. Here,
there's definitely an arm on the shoulder. You've got to feel that. You've got to feel that's a penalty. But once he's decided, referee, he's just blown it, decided to dive, and then he's thought, oh, he's already on a yellow. So it's too late for him to make a change. Once he's blown, he's got to give the second yellow, and off he goes. It's an unfortunate situation for Lexington, but you've got to roll with the punches. Referees can't get it perfectly right every single time.
A couple of changes. Midfielder Nick Firmino will come into the affair.
And number 27,
Sofiane Jafal will depart.
It's been quiet, hasn't he, Elliot Goldthorpe? First 20 minutes, first half an hour, perhaps he was really good, and then just haven't seen much of him.
Defender Gael Gibert checks into the contest. Gibert had the tough luck of the own goal against Lou City a week ago. His own goal in the 67th minute was the difference maker. Philip Goodrum did add an insurance marker, but the damage was already done. And down a player. That was it. Forward Zach Ryan checks into the contest. Ryan was good last year for Loudoun United, scoring 10 goals. He was the team leader in that category. He replaces Bidwa, whose day is over with. Pressure stays on. Ryan trying to receive that delivery. Williams with a fine job getting the boot out. The day started so promising for Lexington. On the road, creating opportunities. They flirted early with a couple deliveries from Adidokun. Could not convert, then Epps did. But after that, it has been all Loudoun United. Trying to glide this ball through for Lancaster. The drive! Oh, it just scrambles wide. Farouk was tracking it, but he was clearly beat. Sargent with a good punch, but it wasn't on target.
It's positive from Lexington. Still going to hit target, though. Even though the strike was close, we're going to keep it down, make the goalkeeper work. We saw on the other end how Logan Ketterer misjudged the shot, straightforward shot, and ends up in the back of the net. That's why it's always imperative that you hit the target first and foremost. But good high press coming from Lexington. The nice thing is they're still positive, they're still battling away.
Now Bukura and company trying to feast.
And you made the point that this is very similar to the way Rhode Island started last year, and I think that's a very good point to make. And maybe for Terry Boss, you might pick up the phone to Connor Smith and say, all right, talk me through your experiences last year as you guys struggled to get points and how well you did at the end to make the playoff finals.
Pretty good contact there. Nothing called until a little late. Gilbert using his physicality. Yeah, Terry Boss spent a couple seasons with Austin FC and MLS. He's a head coach at Oregon State as well. Spent 4 years there with the Beavers. He was named Pac-12 Coach of the Year as well. Led Oregon State to a historic #1 national ranking. Played in MLS as well with Seattle Sounders, so he's been around the block. Quite the resume for the man.
All he's interested in now is building up his USL resume and getting that right. He's missing, I mean, he is missing Corey Burke, he's missing Rodilio Rodriguez as well, the two main strikers. So that doesn't make life easy for Lexington, but throughout the course of a season, every team misses crucial players.
Santos looking to the heavens with a ball that was intended for Abukura. He went one way, the ball went the other. Green. Could have gotten that ball back and did not. And some more changes coming for each side. Put into the box, decent contact there, but fine job of defending as Firmino was bodied off. And now he can come in. Midfielder Drew Skundrich going to check into the contest here in the 69th minute. Will replace Ben Mines. Substitution brought to you by Segra.
Good experience from Skundrich. He knows exactly what to do in what situation. Former DC United player. He also spent time at Colorado Springs. 28 years of age. So that's exactly what he's coming on for, that experience, that knowledge, that ability to help shut things down here for Loudoun. They've got that 2-goal lead, they've got the extra players, so in theory there's no way that Lexington should get back in the match, and that's probably what Ryan Martin has said. Go and make sure that there's no way the opposition get back in this game.
The advantage stays as is for Loudoun United. Lexington will be winless in 9 straight. And Loudoun United will improve their record to 7-2 on the year. They'd be good for 21 points. That would be the tops throughout USL Championship. And it would also go to 4-0 at home. I know you talked about it early, Gary. Getting the playoffs is one thing, but you get a home match in the opening round, that does a lot for your psyche.
It does. Top 4 would be a fantastic achievement by Loudoun if they can do it. And they're certainly off to a brilliant start. Abukura is now joint Golden Boot leader with 7 goals, so that's a wonderful player to have in your side as well.
Leggett scrambling around. Ketter got to it. To put it in perspective for Lexington, it has been bad right now. And they had opened up the year beating Hartford in week 1. They had defeated Hartford 2-0. That was back on March the 8th. So you're talking about 2 months without a victory.
Want to check equipment here?
And as good as that victory was, it's against a team that's sitting bottom in the East. So, you know, they'll get there. They're a good side, Lexington. They just got to, you know, learn some facts and figures about the USL, how tough it is, what you have to do, and they've got to get strikers back. Cam Lancaster just hasn't got in the game. They need Corey Burke. They need Rodilio Rodriguez fit. And I think if you've got them, they've got every chance of moving up the table.
It's going to take some work. They'll need some breaks. And then the other element is just the attrition.
They have to improve on their stats. Expected goals at the moment, 1.59 for Loudoun, just 0.32 for Lexington. Oh, nice header there from Hugo Farouk. He's been getting bored there at the back, so he wants to get involved. And shots on target, 6 on target for Loudoun, just the 1 for Lexington. That, I assume, was the goal. So the stats don't make good reading, and these stats are built up even before they had the player sent off. So it's just it's a reminder of just how tough the USL is, how many good teams there are, and how difficult it is to pick up 3 points.
These two teams played back on April the 26th. It was a 1-0 outcome.
Come see what's trending on Karamo. He has deleted 1,938 texts in the last 30 days. See what's taking over everybody's feed all season on Karamo.
Weekdays at 3 on DCW 50.
All substitutions are brought to you by Sengra.
More substitutions brought to you by Sengra.
Chance to beat the team and get autographs. Head over to section 107. Postmax autographs are
Ford Hugo Mbong coming into the affair.
Elevate your collection.
And Cam Lancaster going off as expected. And let's see if this young 20-year-old from Canada can liven up the Lexington front line.
Josh Erlandson in death got things done for Loudoun United, that 1-0 outcome. But you think about how drastic these two matches have looked, albeit because Adidokun picked up red here in the second half.
And he did really well, Adidokun, on that situation. He beat his defender, he got in the box. Could he have stayed up? Probably, but then you've got to ask the same question of Keegan Tingy on the other side. Could he have stayed up when he had that slight touch on his back? Probably. Just unfortunately, the decision went for Loudoun on the one occasion and against Lexington on the other.
The benefit that we have with instant replay is Adidokun was talking about his jersey being pulled. We got to see on the slow motion, Ben Mines had his hand on the shoulder, but didn't yank on the jersey. And I think if I were to hypothesize why our lead official made that ruling was an exact reason. The hand was there almost as a pace, but not yanking on it, tugging on it.
Yeah, but it stayed on there. It didn't just touch and then leave. It stayed on his shoulder, stayed on.
Yeah.
For me, that's enough for a penalty. It's the other one that maybe is more iffy. Is the push on the back of Keegan Tingy by Kendall Burks. There was hardly any sort of touch, any force delivered. For me as the referee, I'd want to see a proper push and know that push, that brought the player down.
That's tough.
So, but again, we have the benefit of 2-3 replays. We get to bounce it around in here. He doesn't. The referee gets one look at it, must make an immediate decision, and he's not going to get it right every time. It's impossible to do that, and that's why VAR was introduced at one stage, because they were there to try and help the referees make those decisions.
Hafferty, the cold shoulder against Santos. He's okay. For Lexington, on tap for them, FC Tulsa at home on May 18th. For Loudoun United, they will go on the road and travel to South Florida with an improved Miami FC team on the docket. Miami is actually unbeaten their last 4 across all competitions. That includes a thrilling victory in the Jaeger Cup against Tampa Bay. They won that in penalties, but they were down in that match 3-0 at the end of the opening half on the road to a Tampa Bay team they had not beaten in 3 years.
Well, that is resilience, 3-0 down. That's the sort of characters you want in your team, and Miami seemed to have found them after a last year that was, well, best forgotten about is the nicest thing I could say.
That's right. Leggett trying to serve one up. Top of the box, more space. Awua out wide, trying to go top shelf. Oh, and he does! Pure class for Awua. His first goal of the season. And a nail in the coffin. Loudoun is on their way, 4-1.
Firstly, this good turnover ball just outside the box. Leggett plays it in, and then this pass here, absolutely perfect. But what a tight angle Awuha to score from. I mean, the only place you can really score is either the near or the far top corner. He picks the near top corner, smashes it past Logan Ketcher. Brilliant, brilliant strike, and what a comeback from 1-0 down to 4-1 up for Loudoun United.
Awua's goal brought to you by Hanley Energy management for a digital age. A blistering strike from a couple feet away, and for Ketterer, he's He's left on an island.
And credit Zach Ryan there just for holding the ball up and just putting in a perfectly weighted pass through to Awuha.
So this match was tense for the first half. It was a 1-1 tie through 45. And then the wheels just fell off the wagon for Lexington. The call against, which allowed Tingy to convert on the penalty. It was a tough one against Kendall Burks. But all of a sudden, one thing went wrong against Lexington, and then it snowballed.
That's a good test for any team, because you have to, if you're a good side, you have to stop that snowball from continuing and push the snowball in the opposite direction. Not easy to do at all. But they haven't been able to do it here, Lexington. To be fair, they haven't really been hammered this season. They lost 2-0 against Lou City last time out, but that was after a red card. It was 0-0 until they had a red card against them, and then it was only an 82nd minute Goodrum goal that got the second. They lost 1-0 in the match against Loudoun from a 96th minute goal. They drew against Monterey, drew against Las Vegas, lost by 1 goal to El Paso, and so it goes on. So this 4-1, this is the first hammering of the season, really, and it's going to be a sobering moment, and a moment in which the players are going to have to stick together and start to build that self-belief that Rhode Island showed last year as an expansion side.
And Gary, as a head coach and Terry Boss, I guess the other element is, how do you evaluate this match? Do you look at it only from the first half perspective? Because for all intents and purposes, the half here, the second half has been down a player?
No, I think you look at it from both halves. I think you look at it from the first half and say, we did reasonably well, I'm happy. Look at it from the second half and said, you know, decisions went against us, and then what did we do? Well, we didn't contain the damage. You know, we've allowed it to get worse and worse, and that is something you've got to figure out.
Leggett looking for some room. Ryan was near the 6, gave it up. Sun setting. Let's see if that has an impact on Ketter, the keeper. Valo, Tingy, Abukura, Awuha doing all the damage in this contest for Loudoun United. Epps opened up the scoring in the 17th minute, but that is a long ways from now, as Loudoun United continues to play at a high level. This will be their 7th victory in 9 contests. Last year, they had all of 11 throughout the entire campaign.
That's a very, very special start. Any team, including Lou City, Charleston, would be delighted with this level of points that they have got together. And again, as a defense, they have shielded Hugo Farouk.
More of it from Leggett. A possible 2-on-none break. He takes a shot. Good stop. And a good one at that for Ketter. Kicked it out with the right foot.
Could he have squared this ball, Leggett? Because you had Zach Ryan in the middle, and he's waiting for a square ball. Looks at him and decides, no, I'm going to go for the shot from a very tight angle that gives Logan Ketter the chance to make a decent save. But a square ball to Zach Ryan, if he could have found him, that would have been an almost certain goal.
Ooh, I went upstairs against Green. That'll be a corner kick. I was going to try to help out the combatant.
A little bit of cramp there from Jacob Green, back on his old stomping ground.
This IBEW local 26 corner kick.
But if you want to look at the lack of impact that Lexington have had in attack, other than the goal, Hugo Farouk had nothing to do.
Yeah.
Not a single save. So, and even that goal, it was bad defending. Cole Turner took a swipe at the ball and missed it. And so there really hasn't been anything where you look at it and say, Lexington have created enough on their own. In fact, the one thing they did create got their player sent off was the run in the box for Adi Dukun. That was a good run. That was a good bit of skill. And unfortunately for him, picked up a second yellow card.
Yeah, and then you mentioned it before the end of the first half, the green header off the
Yes,
goalpost, and that's
yes.
it. That's been it, right?
That was the other one, but well remembered. That was a really good header.
Yeah.
Smacked against the post, and that goes in. It could be a totally different game.
Right.
So I don't think Terry Boss, you know, sits down and goes, this has been a disaster, because he'll take the first half and say we were good. He will, however, say, but we got exposed in the second half. Even if we didn't get the right decisions, we still got exposed. How do we stop that from happening?
Yeah, distinctively, we can go back to 3 opportunities for Lexington, and that's it. Goldthorpe early on, his first shot near the top of the box, went sailing over the crossbar by a couple inches. The goal by Epps, and then Green's header off the left bar. That's been it for Lexington, and it was all early in the first half.
Whereas Ketcher has been really busy, made some good saves just before halftime. Was it fault for one of the goals? So it's a tough one. One's his fault, one is a penalty that's very dubious. But you can look at things that went wrong in terms of them conceding. I'm looking at what they didn't do in terms of creating goals. And I think that's going to be of greater concern to Terry Boss.
For all the struggle Lexington has had this year with the 1-3-4 record, keep in mind they'd only conceded 10 goals coming into today. And all of a sudden, they've nearly given up half of them.
United substitution, 84th minute. Now what's the number 4?
Another substitution brought to you by Segra. Defender Ethan Pendleton will come into the contest and replace Tommy McCabe. Midfielder Alex Nagy also entering for Leggett.
Yeah, it's good to give these players a run out. Ethan Pendleton there, just 18 years of age. The match is won. It's put to bed, so you can bring on the youngsters and give them a little run around for a few minutes.
Ryan trying to add to it. Abukura jams in the brakes, looking for a brace to Ryan. A little unselfish for Abukura and Ryan. All smiles now. At the conclusion of this contest, we'll also have the save of the match presented by Segra. Voted on and declared by Gary Bailey himself. Lexington led 1-0 after Marcus Epps' goal in the 17th minute, and then Loudoun United with 4 straight. 1 in the opening half, then 3 here in the second. Tingy's goal, if it stands up, would prove to be the game-winning goal. Abukura Awua inflicting more damage. Hafferty. Green. Adidokun picking up a yellow in the first half and then another in the second. So his day was over with the red. Epps. Prior to their last match against Lou City, Lexington wasn't really a harsh team in terms of fouls and bookings. It's 17 yellow cards and not a single red, and now back-to-back weeks with red.
What a good ball.
Home run pass, Velo looking up. Stat stuffing contest, maybe. Ball's a little too late for Ryan. Chipped over, Abukura. Looking for a lane, gives it up, unselfish ball! It's 5-1! Zach Ryan, for the second time this season, finds the back of the net. And the beatdown continues for Loudoun United. It's 5-1.
That was a beautifully constructed goal, a switch of play from the left-hand side all the way to the right. Even goalkeeper Hugo Farouz has decided to come and join the celebration. This is towards the end. Abukura goes in and then out. That's a clever little move. Nagy square ball to Zach Ryan. But Abukura is just, it's the cleverness to go in, just to drag the centre-back with him and allow more space. And for the run of Nagy, puts it right into his path, and he finds Zach Ryan, whose right boot is already in place just to angle it into the back of the net. But even earlier than that, there was a beautiful cross-field pass out wide to the right. Brilliantly constructed goal by a Loudoun side that is starting to have everyone believing that maybe they could be the championship winners this year. Why not?
Nagy with the assist on Ryan's second goal of the season. It's powered by Hanley Energy management for a digital age. Ryan scored 10 in 2024, trying to equal that total this year.
Well, he was the one who had the pass to Awuha for the previous goal. So he had an assist there and a goal, and he's come on as substitute, so not a bad impact to have.
The 5-1 score for Loudoun, they have had 5 different goal scorers. Good distribution. And I got to imagine Ryan Martin is thrilled with that.
I think anybody would have been thrilled with that. It's just a fantastic result from 1-0 down. And you can argue about penalties and what should and shouldn't have happened, but in the end, they've taken the advantage they've been given, and they've absolutely nailed home the coffin here in superb style, have Loudoun.
Keep an eye on our 4th official for added time. Can't imagine we'll have too much. This kind of a contest being a runaway. Gave it up, got it back. Towards the back post and around. That ball just going the other way and wide. Sargent has had 2 quality chances in the second half, both attempts wide.
It's a beautiful ball in here. It's whipped in first time before defenders really get a chance to figure out where the attackers are. And Sargent coming up at the back post, as you say, had a good chance already this match. Those are the ones you've got to hit target with. They haven't had many, Lexington, but other than the Marcus Epps effort, the rest of them have been well wide of target. And I look at Awuha's goal. That was also from probably an even more difficult angle, and yet he's able to tuck it into the top corner. So in terms of clinical finishing, Lexington need to do better. It was a question you asked me at the very beginning of the game when we did the build-up. What do Lexington need to do? They need to be more clinical when the chances do come. Easy to say, very difficult to do.
Minimum of 2 minutes of stoppage time. Brought to you by Novak. Novak's energy-saving tips are a real game changer. Lexington will lick their wounds, go back home against FC Tulsa on May the 18th. Loudoun will jump on a bird, head down to South Florida. And the date with Miami FC, May 17th. Loudoun United will sweep the season series from Lexington. The goal differential will be +5.
Well, after that match against Miami for Loudoun, they do come up against Lou City in the Jägermeister Cup again, and then Charleston Battery at home. Those are your 2 top teams from last season in the East. So, yeah, fantastic. After this, go and celebrate Loudoun United. But then we get to see them up against the best and see whether this is just a good run against teams who are struggling, or whether they really can compete with the top 2 teams in the East.
Litmus test will be fascinating to watch. Loudoun United making some noise. The question is, how high will the pitch get? And that, as they would say, is that. Servando Berna blows this thing dead, and in disrupting fashion in the second half, as Loudoun United running away with this contest. 5-1 is the outcome.
Some very glum faces on the Lexington staff there, and a smiling Ryan Martin, who must be super proud. Velo, what a goal he scored for Lexington. Some harsh lessons in this expansion. Yeah, they need to learn from them very quickly if they're going to make the playoffs this season.
Save of the match presented by Segra. Got to take a peek at this. Gary Bailey, what do we got?
Well, Logan Ketra makes a save off a Florian Velo header there. Full stretch, great tip round the post. Good ball in from Santos. Below the header, goalkeeper, absolutely brilliant.
Nice stop by Ketter. Tough luck loser in this contest. Lexington falls to 1-4-4 on the year. Loudoun United improves their record to 7-2, 21 points to the cream of the crop in USL Championship. We got some stats, got some final highlights, and we'll say goodbye coming up next.
Super serving the DMV means covering the entire DMV.
Whether with a regional approach, so you know what's moving in and where the action will be.
And most importantly, so you know when it's getting serious.
DMV First Warn Days on DC News Now means you need to be weather aware.
So you can prepare, plan, and keep your family safe.
DC News Now, super serving the entire DMV. Get your forecast at dcnewsnow.com.
Closing up shop here from Leesburg, Virginia. Segra Field is the scene of the site. Loudoun United claims it. 5-1 is the outcome. With Gary Bailey, I am David Gascon. Gary, look right into these highlights because there was a lot for Loudoun United.
Early on, it was Lexington on the front foot. Elliot Goldthorpe. Cole Turner misses the clearance, and Marcus Epps cuts inside on his right foot and just squeeze it between two defenders and goalkeeper to give Lexington a nice early lead.
Epps' team-leading third goal of the season, the 17th minute, but that would be the last laugh for Lexington because in comes Loudoun United's offense.
Santos with a pass to Florian Velo. He just picks out the top corner. Absolutely brilliantly. He knew where he wanted to put it. It was all mapped in his head, but then he had the quality to get it over Logan Ketterer right into that top corner.
Santos with the assist. It was a goal scored by Velo, his first of the year, and then things got dodgy in the second half, didn't they?
Yeah, Keegan Tinky, was he pushed enough to go down? I don't think so. But it was given, and Kendall Burke, was the one adjudged to have pushed. Now, this is a penalty, definitely an arm on the shoulder, and it stayed for a while. And instead, Adidokan gets a second yellow and gets sent off. So that to me was the most surprising of the decisions, and from there Lexington were just put to the sword. Give Loudoun credit. Abukura here makes a run. Goalkeeper's already made some fantastic saves, totally misjudges that. Maybe coming off the turf pitch as opposed to a grass pitch is a different bounce. Logan Ketterer fluffs that one, and all of a sudden Lexington are in all sorts of trouble.
His team leading 7th goal of the season. Floodgates are open and they continue to stay on for Loudoun United.
Velo stealing the ball, gets played into Zach Ryan. He waits and just puts that through so cleverly there. And from that corner, what a lovely finish there from Awuha. There's not much to aim at, but whatever it was, he found it.
That was a bullet from Awuha, sending a message. It was 4-1, and then the final act to make it 5-1. Zach Ryan gets himself on the board.
Yeah, ball in from Abukure to Nagy, and he finds Zach Ryan. Zach Ryan had an assist in the last one. He's the beneficiary. Abukure there goes to his right, then plays it left, opens up a bit of space. Nagy to Zach Ryan. Game, set, and match.
This match was 1-1 at the end of 45 minutes of play. Then the red card changed the complexion of this thing all entirely. Full-time stats, the 5-1 outcome, shots 14-6 in favor of Loudoun United. They grew into the contest, Loudoun did, and Gary, they're impressive.
They're very, very impressive. For Lexington, just one shot on target. That's what really counts, their shots on target. Just one, that was the goal. Didn't do enough, got outplayed even before the red card. But maybe that's because Loudoun are a fantastic team this year. Something for Lexington to aim for.
With the victory, Loudoun United improves their record now to 7-2 on the year, 21 points, 4-0 at home. Lexington still has not have a victory on the road. They go to 1-4-4, dead last in the Western Conference. For Gary Bailey, I'm David Gascon. Hope you enjoyed this one. Loudoun wins it, 5-1 is the final.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.